There is a phrase, an image, that has been used, unfortunately, recently with increased frequency. We seem to talk about hotspots a lot. For instance, right now it seems like the entire western United States is on fire. There are hotspots up and down the coast. And these are not just images. This is not just a metaphor. These are literal reminders of the way in which we have failed to care for God's creation. And there are hotspots around the United States as both people gather together to protest and to cry out the injustice of both black lives and blue lives being lost unfairly and unjustly. And people are coming together, and some of these protests are turning violent. There are hotspots all over the United States as people cry out together and say, this injustice has to stop. Not only that, but there are hotspots all over the world as the coronavirus seems to run rampant. Fortunately, here in Fort Worth, the numbers are on the decline, but on college campuses and in places all over the world, there are these hotspots. And so in this interesting time, we are forced to cope and to deal with this, unfortunately, more or less on our own. Normally, in times like this, when there is a crisis, we come together as people of faith, and we process together, and we grieve together. But we're not able to do that in this time, and so that has made this difficult time even harder. For the last several weeks, we've been dealing with a series on the poetry of the Psalms. We've called it God is Holding Our Life, because there seems to run throughout all of the Psalms this notion that through all of life, both the deep laments and the joyous praise, that God is holding our life. This week, as we wrap up this series, we'll look at Psalm 136, which in many ways is a litany. It's a liturgy. It's a call and response where the worship leader, the priest, the Levite would say something, and then the gathered community, the worshipers, would respond, and they would say, God's steadfast love endures forever. That is the response that keeps repeating over and over through this psalm, in many ways almost like the heartbeat of this psalm. It's a liturgy, and liturgy literally means the work of the people. And so this Sunday we will gather together, online only, to worship together, to grieve together, to process together, but more importantly, to be reminded of God's steadfast love that endures forever. God is holding our life. And I will look forward to gathering with you on Sunday as we worship around that holy and sacred word. Grace and peace to you.